Good evening, baseball fans. It's actually not a good evening, but it is October 2nd. It is a Tuesday. No, it's a Wednesday. Just kidding. It is a Wednesday. I wish it was a Tuesday. We could go back in time, but it is a Tuesday. I am Suzy. That is Tom. This is Bourbon and Baseball Astros edition. Before we go any further, I'm going to give you the rated R warning because if you didn't know, this is a rated R podcast for all of the cuss words. And when I say all of the cuss words, they are going to be flowing tonight. Flowing. All of the cuss words, all the 4-letter words, and some that I may just make up. We'll see how it goes. Anyhow, if that's not your jump, that's okay. Just skedaddle on out of here because you'll probably be highly offended. That's all there is to it. So since that's out of the way, Tom,
Suzy,
I'm gonna drink.
let's
I'm gonna
drink.
drink. Yeah,
I'm a good friend. Friends don't let friends drink alone.
Okay, so I've got my eyes. I've got my actual bourbon.
Bullet.
Okay, I've
I
got my
love
actual
that.
bourbon.
That single barrel, not a cheap bottle of bourbon, and it's so good.
So if you have watched any of our episodes, very rarely am I drinking on this podcast.
It's a good time when she does, though. We love it.
Don't worry about the name, Bourbon and Baseball. You would think there would be lots of bourbon drinking. There's not. There's not. Just in times of desperate peril.
Measures.
Yeah. What are you drinking?
It's called Bingham's Bourbon. It's made by Ryan Bingham. He's a singer.
Okay.
He's on Yellowstone. If you've seen the show Yellowstone, I'm just trying to get through the end of it. I bought it, try it. It's really good. I like it. I've got some other stuff behind me, but this is my jam as of late, and I'll drink it till it's gone, then find something else.
Okay.
Maybe what you got, because I love what you got.
Remember a couple of seasons ago when after the last out, Garrett Cole changed out of his Astros hat and was like,
Boris.
I'm an agent. I'm an agent of my own self. What I feel like doing right now. Just FYI, that's what I really feel like doing. All right. I'm going to put my hat back on though, because this oily hair that you see, it's not the business. It's not the business, but I will proudly, not so proudly, wear this hat tonight while eulogizing this.
I'm going to talk her
team.
back into the hat while I'm here. That's my job.
The hat is on. The hat is on. Okay.
Metaphorically speaking.
Metaphorically speaking, fuck these.
It's all the way off. Yeah, I know.
It's all the way off. And by the time spring training rolls around, we may be in. Okay. Now, don't get it twisted. It will always and forever be Astros. I will love the Astros. But right now, fuck these hoes.
Salud. Where do you want to start?
I was not at the game. Someone was at the game, Tom. First, let's put to rest the stadium was empty. Can we put those away?
100%. Listen, for everyone that doesn't go to games, or for everyone that is not a Houston person, Houstonian, we are some late motherfuckers. It's just what we are. If you expect game time for people to be there, doesn't matter if it's Dynamo, doesn't matter if it's Texans, doesn't matter if it's Rockets, doesn't matter if it's Astros. It's not what we do. You get guys that roll in. Some of them are in the damn team shop buying shit. I promise. You can see them. They're there. It's a whole thing, and the game is part of it. But I feel like some of those people are more concerned with being at the ballpark. When you see national media or local media going, it's 8 minutes to game time, and where the hell is everybody at? They're in the building. They're just not in their shit. They're just not in their seat. That's just not what they do. Now, second inning, Joker was full. There was stuff at the top that wasn't there, obviously. We're talking about 1:30 on a friggin' fucking Wednesday. Who does that? You're asking 40,000 people to call out of work 3 days in a row if it was a three-game series. It's stupid. And that's an MLB problem, not a Houston problem. You just, if it was a 4:00 game, maybe it's a different story. But for me, I think the way they scheduled it, they made it really hard for that to be the home field advantage that it should be. Although today, place was jumping.
Fuck these hoes.
Every third word. Fuck these hoes.
Honestly, I cannot. My thoughts are jumping everywhere. So let's just lay it out. Again, if this is your first episode, if for some reason you have just stumbled upon this random episode, let's tell the people. Let's tell the people why the fuck I'm drinking the bourbon on the Bourbon and Baseball podcast, Tom.
Because Suzy's on brand, damn it.
As much as I would love that to be true, I am drinking the good bourbon. Can I tell you how fucking warm it was just going all the way down? I felt it all literally all the way down to my, it was.
Hits the soul. Hits the soul.
No, I don't have a soul, so it didn't hit there, but it's warm.
If it was there, it would have. If it was there, it would have.
It's true. So let's lay it out. The Houston Astros, AL West division winner, got swept in a 3-game series by the
Hottest team in baseball. Don't
Detroit
you?
motherfucking Tigers. No. AJ Hinch led,
Who we
doesn't have
love.
a starting fucking rotation
Doesn't need.
that rode 2 starting pitchers for the last 3 months of the season, one of whom wasn't even on the fucking playoff roster, and a bullpen. We got jumped. We got swept. We got fucked, and not in the good way, by a goddamn bullpen of no-name motherfuckers. And I say that with all of the respect and love in my heart, which admittedly is not that much. However, I'm a lover of good baseball. So hats off to Tyler Holton, Bo Brisky, Brant Herter, Brendan Hanifey. If you know any of those names, if you are familiar with any of those names, you are a Detroit Tigers fan. You've been watching those bitches day in and day out for the last couple of months. Admittedly, am a spoiled fucking golden era baby bitch. There is no two ways around it. I came in, I started actually liking baseball, following baseball. I have only known ALCS
Dominance.
Astros, and this hurts. And I have to take a step back and realize that I am, in fact, an entitled fucking bitch. And if you've not seen my Asian Tiger Mom rant from, I don't know, a couple months ago, go back
Which
and
I hate.
look at it, because it's very true. It's very true. And it's very applicable to this instance, because we know what this team is capable of. We see the actual things that they can do. And yet, here we are, sitting at home, drinking fucking bourbon. And not because we're happy, not because we're celebrating, but because I want to drown my fucking sorrows. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. Also, thank Jesus I like baseball, and now I can just watch all of the other teams and just have chaos. I just want chaos now.
You're getting
And
it.
and be free of anxiety for my own team. Because at this point in time, I don't give a fuck who wins, who loses. Literally anyone but the Dodgers and Yankees. And I will be a happy camper. Watch it be Dodgers and fucking Yankees, and that will just be the cherry on fucking top. But you know what? That's okay. That's all right. Whatever. Fuck these hoes.
So, for someone who predates the golden era of Astros baseball, this sucks. It does not taste better. It does not make my bourbon taste any better. It does not make it easier to accept a loss. Obviously, you want excellence because you become used to it too. However, for the however many years before this, there were chasms between sexy, successful baseball and just absolute trash. So when you make your way through the muck of all the bad seasons, 100 loss seasons over and over again, this thing, while yes, it sucks, it's not nearly as bad because you've seen worse. I feel like when you look at this Astros team, they were doomed from day one the way they came out the gate. And there were parts of the season where everybody and their mother outside of Houston and some people in Houston said, not going to happen. Not good enough. Can't get there. Can't win a division. Can't play postseason baseball. Tear it all down. Ship guys out. Trade guys out. Let's go start over. Build the farm system that we don't have, which is shit, by the way, because they just won the whole damn thing in the AAA. But it happens. Detroit, tip the cap to them. AJ, tip the cap to them. I don't think they ever should have let him get out of Houston. The guy's a great manager. He took very little time to get Detroit up and running. He literally piecemealed that rotation. Suzy absolutely broke down with a bunch of guys you haven't heard of, even though if you look at their ERAs, they're solid. It wasn't like they went and ran a bunch of dudes with 10 ERAs at you and didn't have
They
any
were
stuff.
the first half of the season. They were the first half of the season, and they brought it down. They brought it down.
So was Hunter Brown. So
I got him.
I know. Yep. So you tip your cap to Detroit. They were the hottest team in baseball for the last month and a half, and they had to be to get in the playoffs. And if this teaches you anything, and it's not just the Astros, it's other teams as well. Wild card weekend is an absolute dice roll. You just don't know. The best teams, literally, you give any momentum to these hungry teams that are fighting and clawing at basically playing playoff baseball for weeks, if not months, getting into the postseason, and they play free and loose with nothing to lose. And you guys named Meadows hitting homers, they got no business hitting homers. Or you see a guy named Ibanez who has a 2-something average hitting a bases clearing double down the line, which he probably couldn't tell you how he did it if you asked him, and he was being honest. It's just the way it is. You have to be so incredibly on top of your shit to make it out of wild card weekend as a division winner, because those teams are some of the most dangerous teams, and they don't have anything to lose.
If you watched the last episode that I recorded with our good friend Clay Snowden, who covers the Tigers for Just Baseball, you will have heard me ask him if the fact that there were no players that ever had any postseason experience, and I was wrong. There was one. Matt Vierling, I'm very sorry that I forgot about your time with the Phillies. So sorry about that. Regardless, besides Matt Vierling and Kenta Maeda and Javi Baez, both of whom were not on the wild card roster, and both of whom Javi Baez wasn't there. I don't know if I don't think Kenta was there either. Regardless, these young kids were playing with house money. It literally did not fucking matter if they won or lost. If they lost, everyone is going to look at the story and how hot they were and give them all of the flowers. And they do deserve all of the flowers. And then if they win, oh my God, the Cinderella story. David and Goliath. Oh my God, they beat the Astros. Also, Katie Nolan, just a big ol' fuck you. Just, all right. You want to know why people were fucking rude to you? It's because you don't know fucking ball. It's because you're calling a goddamn baseball game and you don't know what you're doing. I don't know who you slept with. I don't know what you did in order to get that Apple TV job. But just a big ol' fuck you. So, anyhow, I had to get that off my chest. It's a college clubhouse. It's young and dumb and stupid. And I don't mean that derogatorily. That's not a word. Is it a word? It's not a word.
You said you were making up words tonight. I'm here for it.
I meant I was gonna make up like cuss words. I didn't realize that I was gonna just full on fuck the English language and just whatever. But here we are. Here we are. Because words are hard, and you add alcohol and they're even harder. That's what she said. So we, as Astros fans, the way that we started out, the way that the entire season has fucking gone, we probably should have seen this coming. We probably should have expected to get swept by the Tigers. Honestly, even if we had played the Royals, that may not have been any better since the Royals swept the fucking Orioles. The wrong orange team won, but whatever.
This 2-game series really was a microcosm of the season. When you look at how the Astros were unable to win these ball games, how they lost them, really. You look at game 1 where Framber really had one inning where he just didn't have what he needed to get through it. Not necessarily the command thing. I don't think he had the best command or anything like that.
I think he was nibbling too much. I felt like he was trying to hit the edges too much instead of just pitching his
Your stuff is good enough. Yes. Lost faith. But outside of that, he navigated 4 1/3, and then the bullpen was nails. It's just that was all they needed. And then when you look at the offense, sometimes all season long had these stretches, and Suzy spoke to it. Look, what's wrong with small ball? What's wrong with trying to find ways to manufacture runs to if anything, just to slow down the momentum, to really try to build through the middle innings, that sort of thing. And they tried to ambush Skubal, and they weren't able to do it. They did that throughout the season. It didn't look great. And then you turn to game 2, you got an absolute dominant performance out of Hunter Brown. And I am so excited of what that kid's going to be in an Astros uniform. I was sitting at the game going, I've seen enough. Pay that man his money. Sign him right now, whatever the fuck it takes. Just get it done. I need him on a Yordan Alvarez contract tonight. You know what I mean? Because I love what Hunter Brown is. I think he's a bulldog. He gave up 1 home run. And to be honest,
and it was not even a pitch inside the fucking zone. So I've seen people on fucking Twitter, and we all know that Twitter's not fucking real life, blame him for the 1 run that he gave up. Motherfuckers, please. Parker Meadows has been on a fucking tear since he got off the IL, pulled his fucking hands in, and hit the goddamn foul pole.
It was loud too. Pole. I don't want that chicken.
Foul pole. That is cursed chicken.
But when you look at the offense, had so many opportunities in this game to open it up. and situational hitting, which has been a problem all season long, just wasn't there. The bullpen, which was as highly touted a bullpen as you could possibly have going into the season, has leaked all season long, different spots, different situations, reared its ugly head again. And those are the things that doomed the season and eventually doomed the postseason because they just couldn't correct them. They couldn't get right. I'd like to say that maybe it was a manager thing. Obviously, Joe being a rookie manager, maybe he makes a move too soon, too late. Who knows what that does? But honestly, if this team just puts the runs on the board that we know they're capable of putting on, regardless of this pitching staff that we talked about was okay, they're decent, but they should be able to score against. Probably not talking about the series being over.
I know you're going to get mad at me, Tom, but I've been harping on the fact that this team literally had no grand slams this season. And I know what you're going to say. That doesn't matter. It does. Because we're one of the top teams in hits. Are we one of the top teams in runs? And I really need to figure out.
I love that you pointed that out. Do you know who the top team in runs was?
The Diamondbacks.
Where are the Diamondbacks? At the
Not-
house. You can nitpick stats however you want. And the Grand Slam one, to me, is the dumbest one ever because you literally don't need that to win games. You literally don't have to say, if I don't get a Grand Slam this season, I'm not going to win games.
If we had, I don't know, that's what I was about to say. If I can try and figure out, maybe if you are a smart person, because I'm not a smart person, if you are a smart person and you
You're
know
a college kid.
how to look up this specific stat, I would love to know how many times the Astros had bases loaded and what was the outcome for the bases loaded. How many times we grounded into a double play, how many runs we scored, if it was just the one, if it was two, if it was three, how many of those times did we score runs? Because honestly, it feels like every time we had bases loaded, we didn't get fucking jack shit. I realize that's not true. There were runs that scored in other various games, just not in the games that we fucking needed. Or we only scored one with bases loaded and no outs or one out. And that for me is the biggest problem of the fucking season, because there was so many times where we had the bases loaded or we had second and third with one out and we didn't score anything. And I don't know how to fix that. I don't know if that's a contact problem. I don't know if that's a grounding into a double play problem. I'm humble enough to tell you guys that I don't know the mechanics of all of that in order to give a fix. So I'm going to just present the problems, and hopefully people that are smarter than me will give me solutions. So if you're a smarter person, drop them in the comments, please.
So to that, I say that it is not a secret that hitting a baseball is one of the hardest things on the planet to do. I think the way you fix what you're asking for, not necessarily the Grand Slam issue, because that's not a thing you can predict or fix or try to get into. You're just talking about scoring runs. For me, I think the best way to attack that would be situational hitting. And it's okay, bunting, hitting to the right side of the field, getting that sacrifice fly. You know what I mean? It seems simple, but I can understand the difficulty in it because you have certain guys that get up that you could, okay, a double gets me 2 or 3. I need to let that guy swing away. Or you have guys like Jake Myers or Chas McCormick where it's, look, I just need you to do the things to get him over, get him in. And I think that comes down to management. I think that comes down to being a seasoned veteran going, okay, being able to read the pulse of the team. This is what I need. This is where I can afford to take risks. And I think that's something Joe Espada has to learn. I think that's something that you only get by doing. You only get by being in the situation. Okay, last time I didn't get this. I didn't get that. Perfect example. We talk about game 1, Jeremy Peña, nobody out. He bunts to move guys to second and third to try to do those things. I think Joe Espada made the right call there. Some people question it like, hey, you got first and second with nobody out. Why didn't you hit away? You needed 3 runs. What are you doing? And I'm trying to make this a closer game and give myself more opportunities to score runs. Didn't work out, but I think ultimately that was the right move. It's not something that is an exact science. I think as many times as we see our team fuck it up because we watch every game, there's other teams that fuck it up. They want
Orioles.
Yeah.
I only mildly followed that game today. And I think there was 3 different instances where the bases were loaded and they didn't get jack. And I was all, "Oh, that's a nice feeling to know that we're not the only team that
But
does that."
But I feel like it happens more than just because you just can't watch all the baseball and you're hyper focused on your own team, right? They should be better. I love them. They should give me what I want. But in reality, it's probably like you're asking for the stat. Like how many times did the Astros come away with jack shit, bases loaded, less than 2 outs or whatever? I imagine that if you did it league wide, it's probably okay. Maybe they're a little lower, but not like they're the worst team in baseball, like we tend to feel. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. Hopefully I can figure it out, and maybe the next time we record, I can come back and say, "Hey, I'm a smart person and look what I could do." Maybe. But I'm supposed to be learning about tectonic plates, and that's going to
Ooh,
cut
I
into that.
like that.
No, I do not like that. There's a lot of discourse on bullpen usage. We're going to talk about the bullpen. We're going to talk about the pitching. Now, game 1, Framber, unfortunately, in a regular game, he would have gotten locked down, and you could see it in the other innings where he didn't give up 3 singles in a fucking row. He was the Framber that has the 3rd lowest ERA in the AL. It's just that, unfortunately, 3 runs was all that was needed to fuck shit up. And that is part of the issue, is when he tries to be too fine, tries to nibble, try to be on the edges. And again, I don't know if they discussed it before they started the game or whatever, but as soon as he walked the first 2 guys or whatever, I needed Yainer to be out there and be like, "Bro, what the fuck? Stop doing this. Pitch your good shit." And you could tell there was one of those times where Yainer literally lifted his fucking mask and yelled at him. I don't know Spanish. I wish I did. Yelled at him in Spanish, something. And if you were there or if you know which at bat I'm talking about, please let me know what he said, because I would love it. In my imagination, it was something like, "Hey, fuckwad, stop it." That's what I'm imagining Yainer yelling at him in Spanish. I don't know what that would be in Spanish, but if someone could tell me, that would be great. Literally the terms, "Hey, fuckwad, stop it." I'm going to ask for
So
Steele.
there you go. So to that, I will say this is part of what you have in Framber Valdez. And I don't know if age, wisdom will eventually help him, but it's just you're going to get spells where he looks like he doesn't trust himself, where he looks like everything is just loaded up on his shoulders. He tries to make perfect pitches, and then he gets into predictable hitters counts where he grooves pitches, and it's just really tough because it's not, you get him in certain instances, but not all the time. Framber was nails for a better part of the last month and a half of baseball. He was shaky 2 months
He
prior to
ended
that.
the season with a 2.97 ERA.
Yeah, yeah.
You don't end your season with a sub 3 ERA if you're a shitty pitcher. That's just facts. The second lowest ERA belonged to Ronel Blanco, that had, I think, a 2.91 or something like that.
I thought it was 2.80.
It was something very close
Yeah.
to Framber. It was something special. But Framber just gets in his head, and we talked about all fucking season the Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde Framber, and that's the infuriating part. But he got out of it. He got out of it. It's not like he was giving up bombs. It was fucking 3 singles. 3 fucking singles. How hard is it to string together hits? 1 inning. 1 inning where it got fucked up, and unfortunately, we couldn't do anything until the last fucking inning.
It was a hell of an inning, though, boy.
Remember last season when we had to have certain catchers with certain pitchers, and we thought, the other catchers couldn't catch certain pitchers? I wonder what would have happened. Anyhow, Yainer Diaz, you're amazing. I'm going to give you all the fucking flowers. And I sincerely hope, now that we've gotten the contact hitting down, that we even it out with maybe just a couple more dingers. Just a few.
Are you willing to trade strikeouts and non-contact for those dingers?
That depends on what the fuck the rest of the lineup looks like. This lineup needed contact Yiner.
It did.
This lineup needed contact Yiner. If I can get a couple more contact guys at the bottom of the order that I can trust to put the ball in fucking play and not ground into double plays or strike out almost every fucking at bat, I would love it if Yiner could try and hit a couple more dingers. Also, Kyle Tucker, if we could just bubble wrap you and stay inside those sinkers. Stay inside those sinkers and just maybe not fracture his shin this time.
Let me ask you something. Kyle Tucker struggled last postseason too. So, are you concerned with Kyle Tucker as a postseason player?
No.
Because he went over.
If Kyle Tucker had a full season worth of shit and then he laid this goose egg in the postseason, I would say, okay, let's discuss this. At this point in time, it's a non-fucking starter. He didn't have any rehab starts. He was barely running at full speed like 2 fucking weeks ago. So for those motherfuckers who are dumb and saying that we need to trade Kyle Tucker, I need you to shut the fuck up. Just all the way. Because what the fuck are we doing here? If he had played the entire fucking season, he would be giving Aaron Judge a run for AL MVP right now. And I firmly believe that. So we're going to, again, maybe bubble wrap all of the shins so that next season we can try that. Hunter Brown.
That boy good.
My young king. We literally called him Baby JV. And today, I'm going to say prophecy. It's not the prophecy. I don't know what word I'm trying to look for. And I have too much alcohol in my system to really try and cognitively think of that word. But I tweeted something very similar to what I'm trying to say here. And we literally called Hunter Brown Baby JV for, I don't know, 2 seasons now. And what was JV known for? A solo bomb and no run support. And guess what Hunter Brown did today? A solo bomb and no fucking run support. And Hunter Brown, I sincerely apologize from the bottom of my heart for the fucking raggedy ass motherfuckers that couldn't put bat to ball and score any runs, because you deserved better than what happened to you at that game. You pitched your fucking ass off. Literally. 9 Ks? Are you kidding me? 9 Ks, right?
Mm-hmm.
9? 10?
9.
9 Ks. A 1 earned run on a solo dinger that was not even in the fucking strike zone. I can understand if he grooved one middle. Okay, fine. I'm gonna give you some shade. That shit was not even in the fucking strike zone. I cannot fault you for that, Hunter Brown. Cannot fucking fault you. You deserve so much fucking better from this team than what happened today. That literally is the silver lining, sole shiny bright spot of the postseason games. Was what Hunter Brown and Brian Abreu, what they fucking did this game, last game. You deserve so much better, Hunter Brown. Joe Spada, I love you. And I've been on your side 97% of the time this season. You were my manager. I have defended you 87% of the season. Now I'm just making up numbers. But I defended you a good portion of this season. I can't defend you for these 2 games. I was a little confused yesterday, down 3-0, that you brought Josh Hader in. Now, I can see it because it was close enough that you're hoping, hey, guess what? Bats, do your fucking job. It's only 3 runs, quote unquote. Only 3 runs. But we bring in Hader. I get it. But then today, the 8th inning, of course you're going to bring in your 8th inning guy, Ryan Presley. And I don't want to be this person. I don't. And I have really tried all fucking season to not talk shit about Ryan Presley. But every motherfucking time Ryan Presley came into the game, my heart rate, my blood pressure, all of my orifices just went, because he makes me fucking nervous. And rightfully, don't talk to me about his postseason fucking record.
You don't care about that?
You know what I'm going to look at? What he's done this fucking season. And this fucking season made me fucking nervous every goddamn time. Every time. Every single. There was not a time that he came into the game that I was free and easy, that I didn't worry. Every single time. And I understand that he's got elite stuff. And his fastball was fastballing today. His fastball usually sits at 92, 93. I saw his fastball get up to 94, 95. But apparently, don't fucking matter. He comes in because he's the 8th inning guy. He's the top of the lineup. The top of the lineup. At this point in time, I needed you to put the fire out. At this point, there was no fire. It was like maybe just the teeniest, tiniest of a whisper of a fire, like a match. A match had been lit. Because at this point, it was 2-1. We just had a big rally. We just had a big fucking rally where the bases were loaded and we only had the one out. And how many runs could we score? Just the one. Regardless, it was 2-1. We had a fucking lead for all of 45 seconds. It was longer than that. But we did. We had a lead, and then Ryan Presley came in and struck out Parker Meadows, and I was very excited about that. Very excited. Struck out Parker Meadows, and then single, wild pitch. And that wild pitch drove in a run, and now we're tied. And I had to refrain from saying all of the bad words and typing out all of the bad words because it's Ryan Presley, and he deserves the respect, right? He deserves the respect because of his postseason prowess. But then I remember all of the fucking 8th inning bullshits that he's done this season. And I was nervous, and guess what? Rightfully fucking so. Because he loads the bases, and there's 2 outs, and now Josh Hader has to come in for another fucking 4-out save. So you can get mad at Josh Hader for blowing a fucking save after he'd already gone 30 fucking pitches the day before. And you can get mad about the $95 fucking million that we gave Josh Hader. And oh my God, Josh Hader gave up 3 runs. You're right. He did. But you know what else Josh fucking Hader did this season? Second in saves behind fucking Emmanuel Clase.
Stud.
Should he not have given up a bases clearing double to Andy Ibanez? Sure. But it's Andy fucking Ibanez. Do you know who the fuck he is? Odds are after today, probably. But before this game, did you know who the fuck Andy Ibanez was? Absolutely not. And it was a pinch hit double. But that's what this fucking Detroit Tigers lineup is going to do. AJ Hinch is going to play the fucking matchups, and AJ Hinch played the fucking matchups today, and he won. And Josh Hader was fucking tired. You can call him shitty names, you can say whatever the fuck you're going to say about Josh Hader, but this blow up, partially on Josh Hader, because maybe you make the pitches, we're not in this predicament. But again, should he have been in this fucking predicament to begin with? No. No, he should not have. Ryan Presley, I love you. And I'm so thankful for all of the things that you've done in past seasons, in the postseason. I swear to God, if someone comes at me with, oh my God, do you know how many postseason? I don't give a fuck. Don't give a fuck. Because he makes me fucking nervous every motherfucking time he came in this season. And he's America's closer. He is. He's America's closer. I liked him. I really liked him. But he made me nervous. And for good reason.
So I get your frustration with Ryan Presley. This has probably been one of his worst seasons in recent memory. Like whole season, not just the postseason. To speak to the postseason prowess, he had gone 14 for 14 in save opportunities. This was his first blown save in a postseason ever. So literally fucking lights out. I agree with you. I thought early in the season that maybe they should have moved him down to a 6th, 7th inning guy and moved Brian Abreu to the 8th inning guy because of the stuff, because he had more swing and miss stuff where if Ryan Presley got behind an account and he had to come to you, he's coming to you with a 92, 93 mile an hour fastball that you can absolutely do damage to versus Brian Abreu, who can get up to a hundo if he needs to and really just blow it by you. So I get why Joe Espada didn't do it. This was a respect thing. This was a, hey, you are the closer. This is not like this is a setup man. We're not taking, the reins from you. So it was really tentative, right? Like it was really a delicate matter. And I think they handled it the best they could. Does it suck for a fan that knows ball? Absolutely. Because you know what he's capable of, and you know that he's not been doing that. So where I feel like there's no egos, no issues on, say, the Tigers, who basically just ran whoever per matchup, per AJ Hinch, and did not give a shit where it was or what inning. Or I saw something that I thought was absolutely hilarious. The 26-man roster for the wild card for the Detroit Tigers salary for the entire team is $18.8 million.
Yep. Less than Josh Hader. Yep.
And Josh Hader makes 19, which just tells you there's no egos, there's no issues. It's, hey, whatever Skip needs, I'm doing it. And sometimes that really works. And maybe next season, because Ryan Presley is under contract, they go to him and go, look, we want to move Bryan Abreu to that eighth inning role. And we're not talking about this because you're right. I do believe that everything that happened to Josh Hader today had a lot to do with the fact that he pitched the day prior. And while he's young and incredibly talented, throws very hard, can do it, should you? Absolutely not. Do I get that, hey, that's your high dollar closer and you should be able to use him like this? Sure. Does that make the odds of him failing better? Absolutely. So for me, and this is where I look at the rookie Joe Espada and go, that's probably a rookie thing, a rookie mistake. That's something where, okay, maybe I manage these egos. Maybe I pull them in my office and go, look, guys, I need to be able to play the matchups. Are y'all cool? This is all respect to you guys. If I need to use Ryan in the seventh instead of the eighth, I should be able to do that. Now, him pulling Framber early and using Bryan Abreu the day before also hurt because maybe you're able to go a little further with Bryan Abreu. I think that played a role. There were little issues that obviously we can nitpick at because they didn't win. If they win, we're not talking about it. But because they didn't win, these are the things that, like, those critical moments in a game, the same way AJ Hinch caught the smoke when they lost to the Nationals. You make a mistake in one of those, it's magnified tenfold because now it cost you a series, it cost you a season. These are things that you hope that Joe Espada learns from and that he's better for down the line, because while we are absolutely miserable right now, that's why drinks in hand, there's a lot of positives on this team. There's a lot of great young ball players. They've got so much talent and they've got money to spend too. So I'm super excited about next season. I know nobody wants to hear that right now because the season just ended, but I always want to look towards the next season because it's what we do. Unless you win it all, that's what you got to look forward to.
Exactly. And like I said earlier, I'm a spoiled baby bitch because we won the AL West, right? We won the AL West, and you can talk shit about how weak the division is. I don't give a fuck. We
Still
got
got to do it.
AL West, 88 wins after the ridiculous, what was that, 7-19, 12-24. Kyle Tucker was fucking hurt. We had Jose Abreu playing first base. We're still paying Rafael Montero. All jokes aside, big respect and hat tip to Jim Crane for doing those things, because he realized that it was only going to make the club better. And who knows if maybe we start the season with, I don't know, a positive WRC plus player at first base. Maybe the season goes a little bit differently. Maybe we win a couple more games. Maybe we get that bye week and get the best record in the, or second best record, or hell, even first best record, because there was only one game difference between the Yankees and the fucking Guardians. If we didn't get fucking swept by the goddamn Cincinnati Reds, it's little things like that. If Chas McCormick didn't fucking suck for 70% of the season, if I didn't have Jake Myers as my fucking center fielder for the majority of the season, it's things like that. You're like, Alex Bregman, where the fuck did you go? What happened? Tom said we still have a lot to look forward to. Literally, we have 43 starting pitchers next season. I'm only half joking about that, guys. Literally only half joking.
And those are the ones that are on the roster, not even the ones that are free agents.
Yeah. I sincerely hope that we can re-sign Yusei Kikuchi. I don't know if it was lip service, but the fact that he came out in the post-game interview and said that he enjoyed his time here and he hopes that he could resign, like, that makes me as a Astros fan feel good. I sincerely hope that we can re-sign Yusei. Obviously, we're going to retain Hunter. Alex Bregman is a free agent. I had been on the fence about my feelings about Alex Bregman and giving him a quote-unquote long-term contract.
Where are you now,
Whatever.
Suzy?
I'm still not comfortable with giving him a long-term contract, but I feel like it's gonna have to get done, and I need Alex Bregman as the third baseman of this fucking team. For the Gold Glove defense, which he's never won one, but he should have, for the Gold Glove defense at the hot corner, for the leadership, for the pseudo pitching coach, even though you don't want to fucking believe it, Tom. He, it, him and Altuve, Astros for life. Let's do it. Let's fucking do it. And if that requires a longer contract, why the fuck should I care? It's not my fucking money. Somebody remind me of that in a couple years
When
when
she's so
I'm
mad.
when I'm so fucking mad and
We're paying Alex fucking Bregman $35 million.
someone remind me, okay?
I'll be here.
Because I feel like it's gonna end up being like that Nolan Arenado. I feel like it's gonna be like the Nolan Arenado thing. And I don't want it to. I don't want it to.
So let me ask you this.
I want all the players to go out on high notes and only have positive memories of them, which I know is probably not a feasible thing. Braves got swept.
Padres are no joke, man.
Let's fucking go, dads. Love them.
If I had to pick a team, I won't because I'm Astros all the way through and through. It would be the dads. I like them. So let me ask you this. So you do not want to give Breggs the money. Where do you want to spend? This is a big question.
I would
no. You don't want to give Breggs the money because you know that he won't live up to the contract, right?
No. I don't want to give Breggs the years. I would be willing to give him a higher AAV for shorter years.
Okay. But
I just don't want to give him 7-8 year contract. That's what I don't want to do.
So you think 30-year-old Bregman ain't going to be any good, and you're comparing him to Nolan Arenado? So right now, I guess not right now, but do you feel like Breggs is a better hitter than Nolan Arenado right now?
No.
Like similarly, comparatively, no? You think Arenado's a better hitter?
Like at 30. Arenado is older.
Yeah,
Arenado is older than okay. Yeah. So I feel like a 30-year-old Arenado may have been better than a third this year's Breggy.
Yeah.
Maybe not by a ton, but I do feel like he was better.
So here's why I ask, because I, like you, was on the fence about this deal because I felt like Tucker was that was the smarter play. Now I don't know. I've never, and what really swayed me was Jose Altuve. And I say this to say, I've never once seen Jose Altuve speak so much towards keeping a player that was a pending free agent like he's done with Alex Bregman. He didn't do it for Springer. He didn't do it for Cole. He didn't do it for Correa, and they were friggin' hug buddies in the middle of the diamond for their entire careers. He spoke to it, but never like, no, this dude needs to retire in Astro. He never said those words.
So fucking candidly.
And for me, while maybe the money, maybe the production, maybe all those things won't check, if your GOAT says, I need this, your team needs this, your organization needs this for all of the things, I'm going to use that word that I fucking hate, intangibles, because he might actually have them instead of us bestowing them on a dude that doesn't, then you fucking do it. You just do it. And I think the writing is on the wall that Alex Bregman knows that there's more money out there than the Astros are going to. It looks like Correa. Correa just knew there was more money out there than what the Astros were willing to part with. And I feel like Alex Bregman knows that from Arizona, from the Mets, from wherever, the Tigers, wherever you think the money's going to come from. I feel like his body language screams, they're not going to give me what some other team is. And I was okay with that. But now when I see the short king go, no, I'm going to talk to Jim Crane, and he needs to retire in Astro, and he's done so much for this club. We need to do so much for him. How could you not just go, fuck it, do it? So that's where I'm at. I wasn't there. I was like, look, Bryce Matthews, I was Will Wagner, I was all the kids. Bring all the kids. Third base, whatever. Bring the kids. And I'm like, I don't know how you not do that. Especially when you think about Jim Crane and how he's so like romantic with baseball, right? Like he went and found Justin Verlander from the Mets and said, I need him back. Signed him again when maybe he didn't need to, because Justin Verlander's going to go in the Hall of Fame. And he wants him to wear a star, in my opinion, and I don't blame him.
I still maintain maybe not the only reason we got JV back, but it's a very high probability that one of the reasons that we got JV back was because Dusty would actually use him and utilize him the proper way versus any other move that could have been made last season. Because I
Maybe.
don't think if we had supplied a couple of bats in the order, if they would have made it into the lineup. And I think they got not backed into a corner, because I don't ever want to say that we got backed into a corner to take JV, because hi, future Hall of Famer JV. I just am saying that might have been possibly the one of the only moves that would have actually made a difference that
I
Dusty
think
was willing to use.
I really think that Jim Crane is fighting a stigma, and it's not lost on him that I don't spend money, the window's gonna close, and it's so stupid. But he's fighting it with his wallet. He's basically going, "Fuck that! Let me show you that I can and that I will." And it's so dumb because every time that somebody says that, he goes out and he gets a big name player and he spends crazy money.
Well,
So
that's just it though. We have the fourth, fifth highest payroll. I legitimately don't understand where people are coming off and saying that Jim Crane is cheap. Has he made a couple of bad moves? Yes, I'll give you that. Has he owned up to that? Yes. For all the people that are saying that Jim Crane is cheap, like I need you to just, I don't know, no ball and just stop saying he's cheap, because he is putting in the money. Maybe not where you think they should be. And let's be really honest, in 26, a shit ton of money is coming off the books. So maybe we go over the threshold for, I don't know, 1 year and see where that gets us. But I don't even know what's going to actually happen. I feel like we need to, in the off season, we have to, I was going to say reconfigure, and that is not the word that I was.
reconvene.
There we go. That's the word that I was looking for. Reconfigure where all of the pieces are going to go, and if there is an actual, can we bring up a kid? Do we go and get some free agent outfielders? Anthony Santander, Jurickson Profar. I'm looking at you guys. Do we get a first baseman? Do we get Anthony Santander and teach him first base? I don't know.
You like Tony Taters, huh?
I fucking love Tony Taters.
You're like, can he pitch? Can we use him in the bullpen?
So we have so many pitchers. We got to line these out. We got to line all of these out, Tom.
Right now?
And I have just enough alcohol in me that I'm going to forget pitchers. So we have Framber, we have Hunter, we have Ronel, we have Spaghetti. We have.
You want injured ones or you want free agent ones? What do you want?
Okay, so we have those 4 that are for sure coming back, going to be in the starting rotation, correct? Okay, so
I feel like they should. I don't know who would supplant them.
Okay, so now people on the IL. Jose Urquidy is a free agent, yes?
No. I think he's an
God
RBR
damn it.
guy.
Okay, so
You want free agent
we
guys?
may or may not have to pick up Jose Urquidy's ARB. Luis Garcia. When is Luis Garcia coming back?
I feel like that's probably opening day. He's been throwing bullpens now.
Okay, so then there is literally our starting rotation. Framber,
Maybe.
Hunter, Spaghetti, Ronel, Luis. Not in actually that order. Again, I have a lot of alcohol in me, so just be glad that I remember those names in that order. CJ, where is CJ? How is CJ doing?
CJ should be out until probably opening day ish, because he had TJ like middle of the season. So
Okay.
yeah, maybe actually I take that back. Maybe he's an all-star break guy.
So is Jose Urquidy going to be an opening day guy if we pick up the ARB?
I don't know. That's a good question.
I need you guys to know how hot my face is. That whole like when Asians get like the alcohol flush or whatever,
So
and they get like red. That's what I have right now.
Jose Urquidy will be, it's his last year of ARB. 2026, he'll be a free agent. But I'm not even thinking about Jose Urquidy. I'm thinking about JP France. Where does he go? What do you do with him? No?
Trade him. I don't know what we're going to get for him. I was
about to say he's cheap. Ideally, Lance McCullers Jr. will be
Don't talk to me about LMJ. Don't fucking talk to me about LMJ.
It's his birthday.
I don't give a fuck. You know what I want to give LMJ for his birthday?
A cup of coffee.
A fucking ride on a goddamn rocket ship. Go enjoy your fucking Maven coffee and your hot wife and your beautiful daughter, LMJ. And I don't know, go sit in the goddamn bullpen. I feel badly. I do. I feel badly because bury me in the fucking H. LMJ, like, I really, I so wanted LMJ to be that guy. And he couldn't stay healthy. And I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is.
I don't know what it is.
And is he going to be ready by opening day?
If it not, then when? I don't know what more you could do.
What the fuck was the issue right now?
I don't know what more you could do. So
go enjoy your coffee, LMJ. Go enjoy your coffee and your $17 million.
17.7.
And your hot fucking wife and your beautiful daughter. And just, what are we doing here? Yes, you had 24 straight curveballs. That's fucking great. All right.
The legend. It was.
The legend of LMJ will live on forever. Sometimes we got to move on from the fucking legends. All right.
So here's financially where the Astros are tied in 2025. Jose Altuve is making 32.5. Josh Hader's making 19. Lance McCullers is making 17.7. Yordan Alvarez is making 15.8. That is such a bargain, and I like to say it a lot. Ryan Presley's making $14 million. That's an estimate. I don't know why.
Is it a mutual option or is it a club option? I felt like this next season was an option of some sort.
It says it's a vesting option.
Okay, but he hit it because it was an innings option then.
Okay, there you go. And then Christian Javier for 10.4, Victor Caratini for 6, and that's it. Everybody else is ARB of some sort. Tuck, Dubon, Peña, Penn Murphy, Framber, Brian Abreu, Jose Urquidy, Luis Garcia, Jake Myers, and Chaz McCormick.
Send Jake Myers to the goddamn moon.
To the moon. Oh, and they're paying Jose Abreu $19.5 million to not play for them. And they're paying Zach Greinke. I think it's just one. And they're paying Zach Greinke $12.5 million to not pay for them.
Yeah, but that was whatchamacallit, his contract though. So I'm like, that's fine for Zach Greinke. But again, cheers to you, Jim Crane, paying Jose Abreu not to fucking play baseball on your goddamn team. So
before they do anything else, that's $91.8 million.
Which essentially runs back the team that we had this season, besides Penn Murphy and a couple of starting pitchers. Kendall Graveman. Where's Kendall Graveman?
I think he's cooked.
I'm going to let you figure that out. I'm going to just be over here drinking.
I think Kendall Graveman, he is a free agent in 2025.
Oh, I love that. That's so good.
The Astros paid him $8 million to not pitch for them. Would you want Kendall Graveman at 34 though?
No.
There you go.
That's fine. Give me Taylor Scott and Brian King and Brian Abreu. You give Brian Abreu some fucking money, Jim Crane.
He is
what? Oh, wow. I don't know what ARB. I don't know what
second ARB year. They've got 2 more years of ARB with Brian Abreu before they have to. Do you know what Brian Abreu? Yeah. Do you know what Brian Abreu made this year? 1.75.
I was going to say 1.5.
Yeah. He's a free agent in 2027. So maybe Dana tries to get him locked up early. He's going to be a year after the Tucker and
we have I don't want to say plethora of starting pitching, but we have some starting pitching.
So let me ask you this, because I've asked this question a lot today and I'm curious your answer. If I can guarantee 2 of the 3 long-term between Framber, Tucker, and Bregman, who you taking? All of them have warts. All of them have big ceilings. They're probably going to be different money talking. You're talking about probably $200 million for Bregman, probably another $100 million for Tucker because he's substantially younger. I think he'll be 28 when he's a free agent, as opposed to 30. And Framber will be 32 when he's a free agent. Oh, want to talk about it? Talk about something else?
I need you guys to know this is not a math pod. And even if I didn't have the amount of alcohol that I do in my system, I would still not have a clear answer on this. I think I'm going to go Bregman and Tucker.
Interesting. I've heard that a lot today. And I get like why you say that. But at the same time, when I break down Framber and I take the name away and I just go, okay, I'm going to give you a 2 potentially ace type dude, left-handed, sub 3 ERA in his early 30s that gets a ground ball rate of 60 something percent. And you just, if I tell you there's no name, you're like, damn, that's a sexy ass pitcher. And then I say Framber Valdez and everybody's out, never mind.
I say again, fuck these hoes.
But yeah, I feel like that's what's going to happen. I think there's money to sign all 3. I just don't think they will. I think they'll pick 2. And I don't know what are the right 2. Obviously, when you look at Ronel, Spencer, and Hunter, if you believe that those guys can be legitimate starters for you for years to come, then you can afford to give up on Framber or trade him or like really go get something else impactful for him, which would be a really weird thing because no GM for the Astros in this run has parted with a premium player because they were always in a run for a chip. So it's like, why would I trade away an asset that I could use? And then they just used them till free agency and then let them go. But I would think that this particular instance might be a shift from that because there'd be no doubt that there'd be suitors for, and there were suitors for these other guys too, but it was always going to be stupid money. And they're just like, we're not going to play that game. I think with Framber, you could potentially get a couple, maybe even 3 premium prospects. He's better than Yusei, right? So think about what they had to part with to get Yusei. Now think about how much more you would have to add. And I don't know. It's an interesting thought process. If you're trying to keep this thing going and manipulate, how you want to do it with starters and stuff like that. There's a couple of guys that are at Sugarland that I think could be interesting pieces too, like Gusto. I think he could be somebody
I
that
felt
could
bad. I felt so bad for him.
Yeah,
Didn't get to make his MLB debut because of fucking rain.
It'll come though.
Last fucking game. I did. I felt poorly for him. So let me put this caveat on Ronel, Hunter, Spencer Arrighetti. Let me put these pitchers in a couple of different buckets. Hunter Brown is a ace, co-ace. He's a 1 or 2. As of right now, he's a 1 or 2. And I feel like he's only going to get better. He's only right now coming into his prime. He is going to be ace type level pitcher. Ronel and Spencer Arrighetti. I feel like Spencer Arrighetti is going to be like elite number 2, number 3 pitcher. I'm holding off judgment on Spencer Arrighetti next season about what I see as his, I don't know, ceiling or whatever, because he showed us what kind of pitcher he could potentially be. And that was baby Jacob deGrom in his really good starts. Now, I'm not calling him the next Jacob deGrom. People don't get it fucking twisted, but he has that type of stuff, right? So I think in the coming seasons, I feel like we're going to get that what Hunter Brown was last season, I think will be where Spencer Arrighetti is for next season, if that makes any sense. So I think he's going to be kind of like that, I don't know, number 3, 4 pitcher. Ronel Blanco, it's going to be very interesting to see where he falls because he's a 30-year-old rookie. Mm-hmm. Now, granted, there's not as many miles on his arm, so to say, because he's a converted infielder because he's not been a starter for oodles and oodles of years. But he's a 30-year-old rookie. So how much stock do you put into that? So I think Ronel also fits into that 3-4 role. But again, next season is where I am holding off judgment to see my final take on them, both of them. But Hunter Brown obviously is in a class of his own, and then it's Spencer and Ronel are in that 2-3-4 range. And I think between those 3, not saying that those 3 make up a Framber Valdez, it wouldn't hurt as much to give up Framber Valdez because we have those 3, if that makes any sense. Well, that was very eloquent, but I have just enough alcohol in me that's maybe a lie.
And what I love about the 3 that you talked about is just how much control the Astros have over them. That's why I really hated to give up a young pitcher for Yusei at the trade deadline because the Astros have been done really good developing these young pitchers to be legit. Some ace, some 2, some 3, like you just outlined, but serviceable guys that you get on the cheap so you can invest in those position players or invest in like one ace and then you keep it moving. Hunter Brown is going to be 26 next year, and he's got 1 year of pre-arb before you get to arb, which is 3 more years. So 4 years before you even have to think about trying to extend Hunter Brown. Spencer Arrighetti's got 2 years of pre-arb. I imagine he's going to start with the big club right away, no problem. Blanco, same thing. He's 30. There's a scenario where you don't have to pay Blanco like crazy money until he's too old to really do too much. Like you might get him for 1-2 years or whatever. You cheated the system there because anybody at 30 that put up the numbers that Ronel put up would be commanding tens of millions of dollars. And you're never going to, arbitration's going to get him paid. Don't get it twisted. He's still going to make something. He's going to make Urquidy money, whatever. But that's cheap for what you're getting from that guy. So you've got 3/5 of your rotation right there that are insanely cheap, even at arbitration levels. You're never going to pay them the balloon payments that you're going to have to pay to a guy like Justin Verlander or Framber Valdez or Garrett Cole or whoever. I really feel like while you're saying, hey, you can make it up Framber, this is also backing that up, assuming these guys stay healthy always, because obviously with Christian Javier and Luis Garcia, you felt like those guys could be really good, and they've been really injured.
Yep. Let me ask you, JV obviously said that he came back too early from his neck injury. I'll be really interested to see in the offseason if he puts a name to the neck injury versus just calling it a neck injury. I'll be very interested to see if it is the thoracic outlet syndrome, which kind of, I guess, took down Steven Strasburg. I know it came out that he said that he wanted to pitch next season. He's not ready to step away from the game. His last start looked much more like the JV that we expected and that we hoped for. Do you think we re-sign JV? And if so, how much money are we giving him?
I think the only way you re-sign Justin Verlander is if it's on a team-friendly deal. I don't even know what that number would be, to be honest. I don't know where Justin is headspace-wise on money, like what he feels he needs to make to be compensated for his work, because I think that matters. The dude's made $400 million in his career. I just wanted to say that number because there's my whole lineage doesn't even know that kind of money. But
a lot of zeros.
Right? So it's really going to be up to him. He said, I would love to be back, but if they don't want to have me back, then I've loved my time here. I really honestly and truly believe Jim Crane has something in his core. Just, I want him on my team. He just does. He's a Hall of Famer. You don't get Hall of Famers all the time. And, he's really good. He sells a lot of jerseys and fills a lot of seats. But where are you going to put him? That's really the question. Dana Brown's probably going, please, Jim Crane, don't make me do this. Because Dana, from an X's and O's standpoint, is probably totally happy with Justin Verlander. You're a GOAT. Look forward to seeing you in Cooperstown. I don't know where you're going to pitch. I don't know what you're going to do.
But it ain't going to be here.
But thank you. Now, my fear is that Verlander ends up as a Yankee, or Verlander, which I can't even fathom, but that they need pitching. My fear is that he ends up a Dodger, which I can't even fathom, but they need pitching. They don't even have the money to support that kind of thing, but they need pitching. And I just hate myself because he could have been an Astro, and he's probably going to win wherever he goes. I refuse to believe that we saw the last good Justin Verlander last year. You know what I mean? I do believe there's a scenario where he gets back to some form-ish, and I just don't know where it'll be. But for all the reasons we just lined out with all the rotation stuff, there's absolutely no reason to re-sign him like crazy money at all. If he wants, what did he get? He got $43 million in 2023. If he wants something like that, ain't gonna happen.
Okay, so what would you give him? If you were Dana Brown, what would you give him? What would you offer him?
Ideally, I would like to offer him $10 million. But I feel like the number it would probably take would probably be close to 15. And all the other guys that need to be signed, I can't afford it. $5 million will absolutely make the difference between first threshold and second threshold, or whatever the fuck that thing is. You know what I mean? I really think they're going to be up against the wall, because there's a part of me now that feels like Jose Altuve talking like he did We'll get Alex Bregman. Short King speaks. I feel like people are listening. Doesn't say much.
Sure.
And if Alex Bregman gets paid, and then Tucker gets paid, and then you start filling all these other spots, we haven't even talked about holes that I think the team should fill. First base, center field. How are you going to do that? Bring up the kid.
I don't know.
Let Melton cook.
In center?
Absolutely.
Center or left?
Either or, doesn't matter. Whoever's not playing center is playing left, whether it's Chaz or Jake or whoever. I wonder what their contract situation is. That's what I need to look.
Both of those are, I think both of those got pre-ARB money to this, or like ARB 1 money this season.
Jake Myers has 3 years of ARB control.
They're not. Who needs a center fielder? Who needs a glove first center fielder?
I hate this. I absolutely hate this. But Chaz makes more money. Chaz only has 2 years of ARB control. It would make sense to move Chaz and keep Jake. And I hate that.
That will break my ever-loving heart. That will break my heart.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right. We eulogized, there we go. Enunciation is key. The Astros season. Hitting with runners in scoring position. Obviously, our big issue. Here lies the Astros season. Hopefully, next season, we can figure out all of the issues and, I don't know, run it back. And I say run it back like we're last place. We've lost 43,000 games. No, we are AL West division winners. Now, do I think it will be as easy? I say easy in quotes. Easy next year as it was this year? Maybe not. I think as much as it feels funny to say, I really feel like the Athletics are going to give us a run for our money. Depending on what they do, if they get any sort of starting pitching rotation, I think will be interesting. I don't know if John Fisher is going to spend the money, so maybe not. But the fact that they won 69 games and are not last in the division, that honor goes to the fucking Los Angeles Angels. Are the Mariners going to figure out any sort of hitters that can hit in their own park? Who the fuck knows? Do you know what the Seattle Mariners winning percentage was this season, Tom?
No, but it wasn't good.
0.8, I think. Do you want to know what their goal was? What did they say their goal was? 53%. No, they wanted to win 53% or 54%. No, I think it was 53. They wanted to win 53% of their games.
They did
that was their fucking goal, was to win 53% of their games. What are we doing? Why are we trying to win 53%? With that fucking starting rotation, Mariners fans, I'm so sorry. Like, you deserved better. And that tastes like fucking soap coming out of my mouth. But the fact that you had the fucking starting rotation that you did, like, what Hunter Brown did today is what the fucking Mariners felt 90% of the fucking season. So many daggers to the fucking heart. I was going to try and be, like, funny and witty, and I can't do it because there's too much alcohol in my system.
But like we said,
we'll end on that.
Like, as bad as this ended, you have so many things to look forward to next season. You're still going to have Jordan. You're still going to have Tucker. You're still going to have Bregman. You're still going to have Yiner. You're still going to have Jeremy. You're still going to have...
Maybe Bregman. I don't want Jeremy Peña. Jeremy Peña, you and your massive biceps can get strapped to a fucking rocket too.
Why? Tell me why.
Because he frustrates the fuck out of me.
Why does he frustrate you?
The fact that I had to tweet out that he laid off 2 lone away sliders and worked a walk, the fact that is such a ridiculous occurrence that it's so rare that I had to highlight that fact is stupid.
How old do you think Jeremy Peña is?
28.
7. Just turned 27. What do you think Jeremy Peña's WAR is?
I want to say that it's going to be higher because of his quote-unquote defense, but his defense has been bad this season.
Okay. What do you think it is?
I have too much alcohol in me to remember which numbers are WAR and which ones are OPS, so just give me them.
So he's a 4.1 WAR. And
is that B-WAR or F-WAR?
I think it's just regular WAR. This is baseball reference.
So it's B-WAR.
Yeah. So his OPS plus is 100. And I know that's an average player, whatever. The point being is that you could do worse than Jeremy Peña at shortstop. You could do better, but I don't know. There has to be average Joes in your lineup. You're not going to have a team full of killers.
I know. I'm aware. I spent 23 minutes of this fucking podcast, Tom, calling myself a spoiled baby bitch. Again, I am fully fucking aware of this.
How much money do you think Jeremy Peña made this year?
Very little compared to the rest of the team, comparatively.
Jeremy Peña made $783,000. He probably made
That's
more.
why
from
his girlfriend broke up with him.
He probably made more from Taqueria Arandas or HEB than he did playing baseball. He's got 3 years of ARB left, and I know he set the bar high.
He did,
but
that's on you, Jeremy Peña. You needed to learn from all of the overachieving Asians that you need to set the bar fucking low, so that the people that are looking to you don't expect the good shit. So that when you do the good shit, they're like, "Oh my god, that's so awesome," and then that's not the standard that you set all the time.
I don't know. I guess maybe I'm different, but I just feel like for what we're paying him, for what he is, he's really good. You know what I mean? It's like being upset with Ronel Blanco if he lost the game. Like, bro's not supposed to be here.
No, I feel like that's a different thing. Here, okay, so again, and I think we said something almost to this exact fucking point. If Jeremy Peña was playing the Gold Glove defense that he had been in years past, I can overlook the average to below average at bats that I witness on a daily basis. But the fact that he is negative 14 outs above average, that's not right.
No.
I want to say he's negative outs above average this season.
I got to find that because
look that up.
Is that an advanced fielding?
Sir.
I know.
Did you see how much bourbon I had in this?
I did. Pour you another one.
Nope. Then I will be fully asleep on the podcast.
Outs to me, put out.
I need you to know that I drank the bourbon so that I wouldn't cry.
You did a very good job.
Legitimately, I was going to cry.
Nah.
I was very sad about the ending of this season. And now I don't have to be sad because now I just get to watch chaos baseball and not have any anxiety for the playoffs. I can just enjoy the baseball and just say yay Mets or yay Padres or go Guardians or literally anyone besides the Dodgers and Yankees. I swear to God, if it's the Dodgers and Yankees, I may yeet myself out of the building.
Yeet, yeet.
Do you think that the Yankees are going to send the Tigers some sort of
thank you
basket or like a cookie, like a crumble cookie?
The way John Boy celebrated after win one, I bet you John Boy might. Those sons of bitches. I've never seen anybody root so hard for a team that could put you out of the playoffs because they put the team you're more scared of out of the playoffs. Like, nah, you'll never catch me do that.
If the Tigers knock the Yankees out,
I can't wait.
There will be a video of me just straight cackling for 30 seconds. Just cackling like a fucking witch. Because that will be so amazing. Did you find Jeremy Peña's outs above average? Do I just need to Google Jeremy Peña's outs above average?
Do it, yes, please.
All right, I'm gonna maybe if I can find my cursor. Hold on, I found my
This
cursor.
this is not happening for me. Baseball Reference has let me down. I need Fangraphs or something.
Jeremy Peña outs above average. Let's see. Hey, guess what? Baseball Savant.
I should have went there.
Let's see. Jeremy Peña.
Proud of you over there.
For the deep size, is that what you're?
No, you're functioning pretty well. A tall glass of bourbon deep. Suzy talks about bourbon. I don't always catch her drinking it, and when I do, it's wow. Okay, I don't imagine.
Rare.
She's like a college kid and a mom, so I don't imagine her over there once a week with a glass, just sipping, like I am.
Although I probably should, because my children, God love them, but man, a whole bottle of crazy. They're my children, duh, but they're a hot mess. I got their
above average. I don't find outs.
I got their whatchamacallit pictures today. Their 4th grade pictures,
so
and I put it into the folder of their pictures that I've had like over the years. And when I tell you that I immediately burst into tears because
why?
like progression, like
They're
because
growing
they've
too
like grown
fast
up,
on you. Yeah.
and I'm all, what is this?
Where
And
did my
then
babies
like
go?
legitimately, because my cold dead black heart over here, I'm like, why the fuck am I crying over my children? Because I wasn't expecting. That's runs above average. Where is outs above average? Where is the defense? Cool, love that. My screen went black.
-5 outs above average.
-5 from what? What was last season? What was gold? When was Gold Glove season, Jeremy Peña? Was that
2022,
22?
he was +2. So
And last
-5 to
season he
+2.
was what?
I do not know. So
What are you good for, Tom? Just kidding. You found the things.
I was like, I'm trying.
You found the things. I'm sad. I'm sad that my baseball team that I have no control of didn't do the things that I know that they're capable of.
Yeah.
And this is how 90% of the league feels every fucking year. So
Yeah, I mean,
don't come at me because I'm aware that I'm a spoiled baby bitch.
Okay, 2022, he was 7 outs above average. 2023, he was 2. 2024, he was -3. That's per Baseball Savant.
So I'm just saying that maybe, Jeremy Peña, you need to get a girlfriend again.
Ooh, yikes.
Because
But so what does that say, though? What does that mean? So for the entire season, he cost them 3 outs?
no, because
Or for the entire, or
I've watched him. I've watched him play these games, and so I feel like those were more. There was more runs that he cost. More runs that he
but
cost.
okay, so I guess I need to know what a good number is, what a bad number is. Is 0 like average?
0.
What's
Yeah.
so he's below average fielding in that.
Yes.
In that.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's the dumb thing because you see him make these web gems, but it's the routine shit that you're all, what the fuck are we doing, Jeremy Peña? I would rather you not make the fucking web gems and make the plays that you're supposed to make. Although I will give you all the credit in the world because you got down the fucking line today and you scored a run.
Dude, that was a all heart and hustle play for him to score today.
I was not watching it. I did not see it because I was in my car and I was listening to the game. And I had made a deal with myself that maybe I just needed to listen to the fucking games the rest of the way in and not watch them because obviously when I watched them, they felt the pressure that I was putting on them and they couldn't perform. They couldn't get it up.
They
They're
cracked.
like, nope, Suzy's watching and we're gonna disappoint her. So maybe that was it. Maybe I was the problem. That's called gaslighting, kiddos. But I'm not the problem. The runners in scoring position is the problem. Anyhow, I need to go to bed. Final thoughts, Tom.
This sucked. There's no way I get around it. But it's always next year. I do think that this is not the end of the Astros window, like some people on Twitter are saying. Calm the fuck down.
So it's not the end of the golden era of baseball.
Fuck no. For me, you end that era when you end Yordan Alvarez, Kyle Tucker, Jose Altuve. Those guys get to decide when the era is over. Like when you can legitimately say that they can walk into a season and go, okay, they're favorites to win their division. They're plus odds to go to the World Series. They're like the 3rd or 4th favorite. You know what I mean? Like things like that make me have faith in, okay, we're not done here. Where what's the odds that the Angels start the year? I mean, no one's expecting them to do anything. A's, no one's expecting them to do anything. The Mariners, everybody expects them to fail. The season's going to start and people are going to go, Houston's going to be there at the end.
Okay. Since this is technically the off season for us now, you will not catch us. I don't know Tom's plans, but you're not going to catch me in exotic places. You may catch Tom in exotic places. Who the fuck knows? I don't. We will be around for the off season. We may be fewer and far between though for Astros specific Bourbon and Baseball episodes. There will still be all the balls episodes with Kelsey and I, and if maybe after football season ends, we can convince Tom to come and record with us a couple of times. Maybe we shall do that. We will see.
You don't have to wait till after football season. Hit me up whenever. I'll be there.
Okay. I know that you're very busy talking about the Texans. And side note, I thought you told me that the Texans were going to be good. That's all I'm saying.
They're the number 2 seed in the AFC. I think that's really fucking good.
That doesn't mean anything to me because I don't really understand the AFC, but sure.
It's the
Yay, foosball.
AFC AL, same thing.
Okay.
Crash course. Now,
I don't know. I saw some of them plays. Laramie Tunsil, I'm looking at you. Even with not knowing any fucking football, I know the fuck you're doing is not good, and you're costing your team chances at scoring and winning things. So stop it. The fuck. And
the team
that
they lost to
concludes.
is the only undefeated team left in one of two undefeated teams left in football.
Didn't y'all play the Jaguars last week?
And they beat them. They lost to Minnesota the week prior, and that is it.
Minnesota. That's what it was. Okay. Anyhow, that concludes #football Suzy. Because I don't know.
For now.
I don't know fucking shit. Someone asked me if I was.
We're working on it.
Someone asked me if I watched the game, and I go, if I watched the game, you mean like it was on in the background while I was doing other things? Then yes, I quote unquote watched the game. But if you mean, did I see/understand the football game? Then no, absolutely not. And they left. Anyhow, so like I said, Kelsey and I will be recording episodes in the offseason. Odds are we will be talking about the postseason games. We will be breaking down those series. We will see if Tom can join us on those breakdowns. And if your team is gone now, let us know who you're rooting for, if you're rooting for anybody, or if you are saying, fuck baseball. I love one team and one team only, and I will not watch any more baseball this season, i.e. Tom, then let me know. I would love to start a dialogue because I love all of the baseball. I love all of it. Love all of it. So I will follow all of it. And I think I've mentioned it once or twice on this podcast, this episode, that now I get to enjoy anxiety-free baseball because I don't give a fuck who wins or loses. I just want to see amazing baseball. Bring me chaos. Bring me a fucking Guardians, Royals, ALCS.
Pair that with a Padres Brewers NLCS.
Oh my god, that'd be awesome. That would be awesome. Bring me all of that. Bring me all of the fucking chaos. Okay, I will be watching all of baseball. Literally anyone but the Dodgers or Yankees. I think I'm rooting hardest for the Padres and or the Mets because the vibes above replacement for both of those teams are just off the fucking charts. The VAR we mentioned on previous episodes are so good. They're so good. Tom, it took Tom the entire season to get on the vibes train, but he's there. He's there on the vibes train. So if you want to keep up with us in the off season, please go follow our social medias. Tom, what are your social medias?
At Third Coast Tom on Twitter. I do not believe in calling it X. Fuck that shit. It was Twitter. His mom's called it Twitter. I'm gonna call it Twitter. At TC Tom1 on Instagram because I'm sometimes doing things on Instagram. And I'm still on the PSF app. I will be calling the Texans game this weekend. Come hang out. It's a solo venture. You are more than welcome to join me and hop on the mic or get on the camera and talk Texans if Texans aren't your jam, because I know there are fans of other teams. They have other rooms for everyone else, for their other media casters for other teams. My goal is to have Suzy do a football game with me before the end of the season. I know the task is daunting, but I'm going to try to make it happen because football Suzy needs to be a thing. I need her yelling at Laramie Tunsil as much as we are because I think that would be great. Come check us out.
Most of the time, if I am going to watch a game and Laramie Tunsil is doing things, I'm going to be all, what the fuck? Why was that a penalty? You mean to tell me that just by moving his head like 1/4 inch, that's a penalty? Why the fuck is that a penalty? And just dumb fucking questions like that. That's essentially the football acumen that I have.
See, my goal is to get Suzy as angry at officials for calling holding, false starts, and pass interference as she would be angry with balls and strikes with shitty umpires. I think it would be great.
I think I already tweet out what the fuck is a catch on a semi-regular basis for not actually watching baseball, for not actually watching football and not actually understanding football. Like, what the fuck is a football move? That's so dumb.
It's a thing, though.
I think that's up there with a balk.
That's also a thing.
I think I hate both things equally. Anyhow, hashtag football Suzy probably
Maybe.
won't be a thing, but maybe will be a thing. I don't know. Who knows?
Hey.
Who knows? So follow us on all of the socials. We really want to thank you guys for hanging with us and becoming a community, because there are now 250 of you on the YouTubes. I have no idea on the podcast side how many of you listen, but for those that are doing that, I appreciate you. Tom appreciates you. And we're going to slowly but steadily grow this thing. And we will be here through thick and thin if the Astros fucking suck or if the Astros are great. Maybe if the Astros suck, you will have alcohol driven Suzy way more often. I'm just saying. That may be a thing. But with that, we are going to say goodbye to the 24 season of Astros baseball. That is insane to say. You were rough this season, Astros. But you brought me high highs and very low lows. But I'll be here for it through thick and thin. And with that, we're going to close the show and say, yay, baseball. Maybe. And record. No? Yes.